Hello and welcome. Are you investing strategically as an informed investor, or are you investing just anyhow as a newbie investor? A smart investor is an informed investor, somebody who knows what he or she is doing. A newbie investor is a novice investor who doesn't have a strategy but just invest as and when they feel like there is no strategy. Let me break it down. If you are a smart investor, you will have a strategy, and your strategy will include having a system whereby you ensure you have a well diversified portfolio. A well diversified portfolio means your portfolio will include paper assets and physical assets. What is a paper asset, or what are included in paper assets? Stocks and shares are included in paper assets. So examples of stocks and shares include Bitco, Dangote Cement, Boa Foods, Nestle, Ohando, Okomu Oil, and the rest of them, Cadbury PLC, and so on. Your paper asset will also include federal government savings bond, mutual fund, treasury bills, commercial paper, and so on. Your paper asset will also include your private pension. And there are many other types of investments that can be categorized or include in paper assets. Your physical assets are assets that are physical that you can see, and these include investing in land, buying land. For example, if you buy a land for 100,000 naira, you have to keep the land where it is, and you might need a little bit of time to manage it and make sure the land is secured. But the land you buy for 100,000 naira today may be worth 500,000 naira within the next 3 years. So you need that type of investment in your portfolio. Another physical asset will be to invest in real estate. That is, it's either you build the house by yourself or buy a completed house, and then you rent it out and you receive rent on that property. So for that, you will enjoy capital appreciation on the property itself, and you will also enjoy rent collection. So there are two gains if you have a property which you rent out. Another physical asset that you can invest into will be transportation. You can buy vehicles, use them for commercial transport. You can buy tricycle and use them for logistics, delivery service. Apart from transportation, another physical asset you can invest into is to invest or buy the dealership of a good brand. You become a dealer for a good brand. So, for example, you can become a dealer for Coca-Cola products. You can become a dealer for Cadbury products. You can become a dealer for Dangote Cement or Boa Foods. There are so many good brands that you can become a dealer for. And when you invest into that type of asset, that will be physical asset. Now, let's put things into perspective. Your paper asset will give you passive income. That means you don't have to do anything in the process of generating the returns you will get. So, for example, if you invest in Bitco or Dangote Cement, or you invest in Boa Foods or Cadbury, as long as what you've done is to buy their shares, you don't have to do anything in the process of generating the money. You just do your investments, and as and when due, this company will pay dividend into your bank account. And you also enjoy the appreciation on your investment. The shares you buy for maybe 50 naira today may be worth maybe 70 naira in another 3 months. In 1 year's time, you're worth 100 naira per unit. So you don't have to do anything. But your physical assets will give you what I will call is partially active income. You cannot really categorize it as passive because whichever way you look at it, if you buy a property and you rent it out, even if you employ somebody to manage that property, you will still have to take part in looking after that property, directly or indirectly. So you cannot really categorize uh, a real estate property as as an asset that gives you passive income. It's an active income, but you may use other people's money and other people's time to run that investment. So basically, your paper assets give you passive income, while your physical asset gives you active income. And you must have a balanced portfolio. Even within your paper assets, you still need to make sure you balance those assets. And sometimes you may need to do what is called rebalancing. So, for example, when I look into my physical, into my into my physical asset. No, not my physical asset. When I look into my paper assets, I realized that Bitco constitutes about 80% of my stocks and shares. So I started buying other shares. And then I sold a little bit of my Bitco shares, had some money, then buy Dangote Cement, Boa Foods, and some other assets. So don't let one type of stocks and shares dominate all your stocks and shares. You must have a balanced portfolio, even within the stocks and shares. No matter how good a stock is, don't let it constitute 50% or 70% of your stocks. I hope you have learned something from this information. Until I come your way again, remain blessed. Bye for now.